Good afternoon, this is Jack from theartchart.net, and this is the intraday video for Thursday, the 29th of March. Our disclaimer, we do this for educational purposes only. We're here to share our technical analysis with you. We hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. We're not here to issue trading signals. Now, what's ES doing today? Well, this looks like a bear flag forming, which supports what Stan is talking about. We reached the right sort of area. The weak 60-minute buy signal that fixed has reached the possible near miss target. I'm just going to have a quick scan on the RTH charts to have a look and see if anything is interesting looking on there. We are testing declining resistance trend line on SPX right now, and obviously whether or not it gets through that probably matters. NDX, this is on the 15-minute. NDX has been very muted, and this looks like a bear flag forming. Really, no ifs, buts, or maybes on that. RUT, we had a 50-minute buy signal that's made target. We've got some negative divergence developing. I think Stan's looking for a turn here, and I have to say the evidence is quite positive that we are going to see a turn here. So we shall see that. Becomes a little less bearish if we break through that declining resistance on the SPX chart, which we haven't yet. But we might do, and that could open up a possible test of the weekly pivot. But I think we've come up to Stan's area. We're stalled. That may be it. Now, is this a potential double bottom setup? Yes, although this low was a higher low. So in the event that we actually got up this high, and we did that today, I'd have been looking for a test of this trend line and probable fail there in a larger bear flag. NQ and TF, we have actually got some respectable looking possible bottoming setups. I'm not really expecting to see those deliver, but they're worth being aware of. Here, we've got a potential rather messy looking double bottom which might be trying to break up, and we do have a weak 120-minute buy signal that is fixed. On TF, if it's being nice, having trouble with my TF chart, it's not being nice. Okay, DX. DX has broken slightly over trendline resistance. That is a concern. Now, the good news is, nope, actually, that's not even got a possible. Has that got a sell signal brewing? Pretty close, but no cigar, I think. It's slightly below. I'm a bit concerned about the break over this trend line. Doesn't mean we can't reject here, but I was happier when this was holding perfectly. There is now more chance that we're going to see a break up through on DX. And what we're seeing form here is a bull flag. And obviously that's got significant implications for both GC and HG. CL. CL, we've got breakdown through the trend line. I think we're going to be looking at more downside soon. We could be forming the right shoulder on a head and shoulders here, which should have a target area in the 65.75 area ideally, and that's actually not a bad fit with what Stan was looking at, so we may see that happen. NG. NG, we've got this IHS has broken up. It's certainly not immediately rejecting. We're on a 60-minute sell signal, but it's been ignoring that. If we weren't already on one, another one would have fixed, and it's been ignoring that so far too. We could still reject, fail down through here, convert the monthly pivot to resistance, break this rising support at 2.72, and at which point we're probably going to go and retest this low. But we're not there yet, and the obvious target for a move up from here would actually be a retest this high here at 2.831, and it may well make that. Waiting for resolution, it's still thinking about it. GC, hang on. GC, hang on, I'm just going to switch back to the GC April charts. I haven't updated it yet. It's been a busy day, I've been in meetings. Let's switch back to April. Right, here we've got, I think we've broken up from the channel now. No, we haven't broken up from the channel. We are inching our way down channel resistance. That needs to break. We've got a 6-minute buy signal that's fixed, but no break, no bounce. So this is a nice looking double bottom. We're on a buy signal and we're at channel resistance, but that channel resistance obviously has been holding all day so far. It's still holding. That needs to break to open the upside. The good news is that chances are this compression should lead to a fairly nice move as and when we break up from it, if we do. ZB, we're getting pretty close to the target on ZB. I think Stan's target is at 146.28. We're getting fairly close to that. How likely is it to reverse there? Well, we've got a 60-minute sell signal has fixed, a weak one, and we've got a full-size one brewing now. Let's have a look at TNX. And TNX, we've got this little falling wedge here. It's really, really nice. This is an absolute textbook model, beautiful pattern here. Now, obviously, we could be heading to wedge support, in which case, I don't think we'd be stopping at 146.28. Looking at the correlation as it is at the moment, it's the sort of thing which could go, I mean, that could go as high as, I mean, it doesn't mean we wouldn't reverse there anyway. But in terms of if we go and hit this wedge support, then I'd be thinking that would probably be more in the 147.10 area. Or thereabouts. So I'm watching this with great interest. If we see a reversal there, then we'd still obviously be in double bottom territory, but I am aware that the obvious bigger picture target for us to go and hit is actually this trend line here. And that's some way below. If we were to break down through here, underthrow and move back up, I'm just wondering about that. Stan's got, as it is, we've got a possible RSI 14 60-minute buy signal brewing here, and the wedge is at a fail anytime sort of level here. So we could see that failure here. We haven't quite made it to Stan's target, I don't think, and I'm not seeing any reason to think it isn't going to make it to Stan's target. So waiting for that. I'm wondering whether it might run up a little further once we get there. HG. Now HG broke up from the falling channel, which is good news for HG bulls. We're seeing a back test here. I'm wondering whether we're going to see a back test of the broken channel resistance, but this looks pretty bullish, and this is one reason I think GC looks pretty bullish. HG looks pretty bullish. This is suggesting that DX is going to go down, even if DX is not so far looking that bearish. So we shall see how that goes, but I like this. I'd love to see a back test down to about the 2.99 area of broken channel resistance and then off to the races. This is now breaking up from inverted head and shoulders. If we were to see a hard breakdown at this stage, break that back down below 299 and further, and particularly if we see a breakdown back down below 2.97, then chances are we're going to go back and retest this low. That would be a classic Janus flag setup. The 60-minute possible 60-minute sell signal that was brewing is no longer brewing. So we've killed that off with the last spike up. KC. Yeah, although we'll be looking at both of those. I mean, but Euro is 57%, I think, or 56% of the USD index. JPY is only 9. Actually, it might be 7. Can't remember. GBP and GBP and JPY are, I think one of them 7, one of them is 9, but we'll see. Yeah, maybe, and that may be skewing it a bit. So KC, we've got a move back up here. Are we doing Stan's last leg down into a lower low? Not sure. Anyone watching is probably asleep by now, so sooner or later we'll make a decision as and when. For the moment, there is a nice looking double bottom here, and I'm leaning long after a possible lower low here. SB. Now, we've been having an exciting day on grains, but we've not been having an exciting day on coffee and sugar. Sugar has done almost nothing. We're still on a 60-minute buy signal. It still needs to break over the weekly pivot area, which is where declining resistance is. How good is that declining resistance? Not great. But I'm leaning bullish here. This is still in potential double bottom territory. I really like the overall setup. Leaning long, as and when it wakes up, which might not be immediately. CC. CC, we've got, I'd really like to see a retest of the high here, second high of a double top, rejection there. We've not made that so far. This could be a rather ugly head and shoulders forming. It could be that we are forming a bull pennant and that we've actually got a triangle here. I'm keeping an open mind. I still like the retest of that high. We'll see how that goes. ZW. It is the first day of the month. Stan and I were talking about that earlier. It's all right. We'll talk about that afterwards. But I'll show you the bullish setups. Right, ZW has actually made some action today. So we've got the 60-minute buy signal has fixed, and it's already reached the possible near miss target. We've got a nice looking double bottom here. We need to see a break over, breaking conversion of 464, and that opens up a target in the 486 area. So looking forward to that. This does look as though it may have turned. We shall see. So liking this to the long side, but we were fairly bullish this morning, and that's playing out so far. GBP USD. That surprised me a bit because it did look as though it wanted to reverse back up. It may still reverse back up, but the longer it spends below this head and shoulder neckline, the more likely it is it's going to play out to the target, which really I suspect is this trend line here, which is currently in the 1.39 area, or just under. So we have got a 60-minute buy signal fixed here. Keeping an open mind, this could be a Janus flag rejection back into the high. That would be a better fit with the overall picture on GBP. But it may well be it's waiting for a turn on DX. That's another reason to expect a turn on DX, but we can't guarantee a turn on DX. Right, EUR/USD. We are on. We've still got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing. We've still got a nice little double bottom setup. All we need is for EUR/USD to actually start heading north, and these will fix, and this is a nice setup. But it does need to get back over a weekly and monthly pivot, and it needs to fix this signal and start moving up. USD/JPY. Now, with the DX move up yesterday, we had a nice inverted move. Well, not inverted on USD/JPY. We had a nice move up on USD/JPY. We're actually pretty bullish on USD/JPY. I'm thinking it could head up 20% from here over the next few months. And I think this is a bottoming pattern. So I'm not sure when DX turns down whether JPY is going to be following that closely. We've got a nice looking bull flag forming here. I'm expecting that in all probability to break up. Now I'm looking for a test of double bottom resistance in the 107.30 area. USD CAD. Yeah, it's a lovely flag on JPY. It really is nice. That should break up. We should see at least a minimum a retest of yesterday's high. USD CAD. This looks like a rather messy double bottom forming, probably. Could be an IHS, but it's a lousy IHS. It's a much better double bottom. So that has broken up slightly. This could be a Janus flag setup looking for the low. If so, then we are forming a larger head and shoulder pattern. And on a breaking conversion really of this area here in the 1.2825 area, then we'd be looking a lot lower. 1.255 probably. Now that's a pretty good match with what Stan's seeing on CAD, so that's worth bearing in mind. Australian dollar. Right, Australian dollar, we've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed. That's got plenty of life left in it. Possible double bottom, a bit messy, possible IHS. Really, the target on either on a move up would be in the 77.3 to 4 area. Waiting for that move. This could overall be a double bottom, but it's a bit messy. Australian dollar has been a bit messy lately. NZ. NZ, 6-minute buy signal is fixed. It's got back over the weekly pivot. This has got more life left in it. I'm expecting to see more upside. That will probably spill over into Australian dollar. This is a nice looking setup. I am wondering about a possible overall triangle forming here. So, you know, we've got lower high, higher low, etc. So we shall see how that goes. All right, great. I'm going to stop the recording.